Hello everyone and welcome back to the Football Manager Streamer Showdown YouTube channel and another interview. My name is MrDizTV and I'm your host for today. And my guest right now is a Lowdown mainstay who was thrust into the Streamer Showdown competition. And actually he's got one of the most successful records in Streamer Showdown, having reached the final. And this time, unfortunately, having gone out in a semi-final in what many people have called of the tie of Streamer Showdown history. He is the original big meaty man himself. It is, of course, Viking Dan. Dan, how are you?
I'm good. We're just under 24 hours after that semi-final, and I still don't think I've recovered yet. I'm still on the come down, I think.
Well, to be fair, it was an emotional semi-final, 100%. But let's go back right to the beginning. And how did it feel to be invited back to the competition side of the Streamer Showdown?
It was, I mean, obviously it was an honour to be asked to come back and compete. I love head-to-head competition on the Football Manager as much as I do watching it and commenting on it. So it was nice to be involved, nice to be invited, and who knows if I'll be back. We'll see if Ben wants me back. But yeah, it was a different feel for the weekend, definitely a bigger range of emotions, like from the highs and lows of winning games and losing games, and feeling like parts of the Saturday where I didn't know what I was doing, and then on the Sunday it felt like everything was going my way. So a bigger, kind of a more emotional weekend rather than just an intense one like it is on the showdown, on the Lowdown. Sorry.
Yeah. So speaking of the Lowdown, did you feel any more pressure? Mainly because obviously, you know, we all do it, right? We took some smack on the Lowdown.
You've got to, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's part of it, isn't it? But then you've got to put your money where your mouth is. Did you feel any additional pressure because of that?
A little bit. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say, no, I went in cool-headed, believing in myself. Like, I know I'm decent at the game. I know the game. But head-to-head is a completely different beast. And I think this time around I think it might be the most competitive Streamer Showdown panel or league table, or the amount of managers that were in there this time. The most competitive that we've had. It was insane. There was no games really, other than after Tom had drafted his team, obviously, that I looked at and went, yeah, like that's 3 points. Like that's a win that I think I can easily get. Like I looked at every game and I thought, that's tough. He's a good manager, good squad. Like Holly, very new to it, but obviously champion last time. Like I've never played her before, so I had no idea what I was going into. But yeah, I always back myself when it comes to Football Manager. Might not have gone as well on the indies as I think he likes to call it, but I think I backed myself and showed that I've got some PvP head-to-head Football Manager chops this weekend.
Yeah, so I've got a confession to make. I wanted you to get less than 9 points, so I could take the mick out of you after my performance. But no, you know, fair play.
Close, wasn't it?
Well, up until the last few games, but we will go into that. So on draft night was a great experience. I think it was quite fun. I found it quite entertaining as a viewer. But how did it feel? You're number 4, and Erling Haaland is still available.
Sorry.
She's done it!
She's done it!
Oh my god!
He's kicking in! Love it!
How have I got him? How have you?
I respect that. Sorry,
You
man.
love to see it. This is
love it.
chaos.
This is
Absolute
going
chaos.
on.
How have you let him get this far?
Mental.
Ollie who plays has got a strategy. I
Dan
love to see
takes
it.
him. He's a big beefy boy.
Go then, Dan. Get him in. Get it done.
Okay.
People already
This is mad. Slates is going to go for Osimhen.
I've already had planned for this.
Mbappe plates.
I couldn't believe that they let me have him. Like, it was ridiculous. And he showed his worth over the weekend, right? Yeah. 14 goals in the entire thing. Unbelievable player. In hindsight, I think a lot of people would have rather gone for him. But, I mean, the picks that people took all made sense, other than Ches, I think. Going for Donnarumma his first overall was a bit wild. But the fact that he was there was insane. I didn't think I was going to get him at any point. But knowing the way that people were drafted, and knowing that Holly liked Vlahovic, and knowing that Ben wanted Trent as his first, I thought there was a small chance. So I did actually do an entire separate bit of prep for if he's available. So obviously just taking that amount of money out of the pool, out of my budget, just changes the pool that I can draft from. Yeah. So I did actually prep for it. I was astounded that I actually got him, but, you know, it all paid off. He did pretty well for me.
And then, so who would have been your first pick if it wasn't Haaland?
I had DeMarco as my first pick. When I was doing my prep, I realised there was a real dearth of very good set-piece takers. And that on top of him being just a very good fullback, very creative as well, good long shots. I thought he was one of the best kind of players in that position. So like he would have been my first pick, and then the rest of my picks would have kind of followed a similar kind of level of players. A lot of £20 million players in my draft list.
Well, funny enough, you ended up with both anyway.
Worked out, yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. So then you go to the group stage. Now, you described it at one point as you felt like it was really poor, but you could end up finishing third. Tell me about your group stage and how you feel it went.
I think we had a very good game against Ches that I should have won. Absolutely battered Holly. And then it all just kind of fell off a little bit, and Zeon put 5 past us in a game that was pretty even. Then I got battered by Ben and won 2-0. Like, it was just one of those things where, like, things going wrong, and I can't exactly figure out why. It just seemed like my players were passing to the opposition, not tracking men, not trying to tackle. And then the break week actually came at the perfect time. I thought, this is a perfect time. I've got a game against Jack and a game against Tom that I think we can take 3 points from. So I'm going to change the system up a little bit, like try and change the things that were going wrong. And it paid off. We got 2 wins, went into the, finished 4th overall in a league phase that felt a bit disappointing on results and performances. Like, a lot of my players just didn't turn up. A lot of the defenders were awful. But we managed to finish top half, and I guess, unfortunately, drew Z, but that worked out in the end.
Well, yeah, drawing Z, and then Z's really informed in Football Manager 2022. The last 2 seasons, season 2, season 3, he's got through to a final, having won one of them. So the pressure must have been on you, right? Facing Zealand. How did you feel going into that game?
Well, like I said, in the group stage, he battered us 5-1. Even though the game wasn't a 5-1 game, and even he said at the end of it, it's like, that's really harsh on you. Like, that wasn't a 5-1 game. But I think it was actually beneficial having lost that game, because I'm very much of the mindset of you don't learn anything when you're winning. Or at least when you're having good games. Like, it's just go in and you don't know how to change things. You don't know how to see the things that are going wrong. So having lost that game and getting him in the quarterfinals, sorry, I knew where his threats were. I knew that Christian Nkunku run from midfield was just shredding us every time. He was always a spare man. He was always losing his marker. So I just stuck a man on him, tight marked him, kicked him out the game, and we completely nullified him. In both legs, we were the dominant team. And yeah, so it gave me the opportunity to right the wrongs. And also, everyone loves a revenge team talk, right? Like, I got the chance to use that in the first leg and just took the game away from him.
Well, you've done it in an absolutely flying style. We were never close.
Man! Thank you, dude. That was amazing. What a 2 legs. Yeah. Commiserations.
So, and it's quite funny because you lost 5-1 in the group stage to Zealand, but on aggregate, you win 5-1 in the quarterfinals.
Yeah. I mean, he did come back into it in the second leg. It was a weird tie because I had all of the away leg, and it felt a bit like I was under the cosh a little bit in the second leg at home, even though we ended up winning, obviously, and winning the tie in all. It felt like we were the away team in the home leg. It was a strange one.
So that semi-final loss, you obviously win the first one 5-3. You lose the second one 6-4, was it?
6-3?
6-3? Sorry, my maths is everywhere today.
Right. I can't remember actually now. There was a lot of goals.
I mean, people are describing it as the greatest tie in Streamer Showdown history. Give me your version of events.
It's just a whiteout for me. There's no memory of it. I just woke up woke up at the end of it just sweating. I have no idea what happened. No, over both legs, if you look at the actual match stats and the breakdown, Clates deserved to win it. But I went into that tie knowing that he had this system with 3 massive strikers, having a player right behind him, Phil Foden playing the attacking midfield role, and just like this juggernaut of an attack. And it was the same in the league game. Even though it was 3-2 in the league to him, he battered us. Like, it should have been way more. We were just clinical on the break, but I figured I had to go out and try and put out the fires that his front line did. So I set up a back 5, played on the counter, and we were absolutely clinical in our counter attacks as well. But I felt that's the only way I could have played. Like, in hindsight, maybe in one of the games I should have gone out with my system and tried to take the game to him. fucking come on! Come on! But when I tried that in the league, he just pulled us apart. Like, it was ridiculous. So, yeah, it was an emotional kind of... It felt like it went on forever as well. Hopefully it was an interesting watch rather than just me and Clates clicking buttons all the time. But there was a lot of to-ing and fro-ing, a lot of him changing his system and me trying to counter it, and it felt like it was a proper tactical battle. The quarterfinal was the same against Z. There was a lot of to-ing and fro-ing in terms of tactics, acting and reacting both sides, and it was exactly the same in the semi-final. But, you know, what can I say? I think over the two legs, Clates deserved to go through, and I think, without wanting to toot my own horn, I think whoever goes through to that final wins it either way.
Yeah.
Fulliest tie in history, maybe? Oh my god. Just let him free. I mean, we had to go for it, chat. Like,
Well, it's mad because a large part of your shtick on the Lowdown is the fact that you are the tactical brain of the Lowdown.
well,
And I
I keep saying this, but I don't know if that's the case.
I mean, I don't agree because I'm a genius. No. But anyway, but I think you proved it. I think you did really well. You know, it was a heck of a game, and it could have gone either way. And I think I spoke to Clates earlier on, and he kind of agrees with that. But I think one of the things as well, though, is you had a lot of fun on the Sunday, didn't you? Tell us about your outfit.
Well, Erling Haaland arguably kind of like dragged me through that first day because the tactic wasn't working. My defense didn't turn up, and it was basically Aaron Ramsdale and Erling Haaland that carried us through. So I thought, I've got to give a tribute. I had to get my blonde ponytail in.
Can you send me some sort of video with you wearing the wig?
Oh, and that's what just. The joke is, right? I've been wearing a bald cap this whole time.
It's so convincing as well, Dan.
Dress up as Erling Haaland. The gutting thing is I actually had a Dortmund shirt on order as well that didn't turn up on time. Kind of like Ben's strikerless one that didn't turn up on time. But yeah, because I could have had the full complete outfit, but I had to make do with the shocking blonde hairdo.
It was a lot of fun to be fair to see that, and as, I think Matt, as soon as he saw you, he just started to laugh uncontrollably.
Yeah, I had the showdown up, the lowdown up, sorry, and I just saw Matt explode with laughter.
No, it was brilliant.
Well, that's the desired effect. The comparisons to certain people from Tiger King, I'm not all into that, but you know, whatever. You do you guys. It was nice though. I was reliving my 20s. I used to have long flowing blonde hair when I was in my 20s as well. Like
no, long flowing. No way.
Yeah, they're like right halfway down my back.
Wow.
And it all fell out.
Well, I think I need to ask you a question in relation to the Lowdown and the Showdown. Obviously, I've recently done the Showdown as well. I'm being on the Lowdown. Curtie did it earlier on. For you, what are the main differences between the two, and how did you feel embedding yourself in the Showdown element of it?
Like I said earlier, like the range of emotions is way different. Obviously, like you're a lot more invested in the game because you're trying to win games and beat other people and stuff. But just the highs and lows of winning games and losing games and having good games and having bad games and players not turning up and stuff is completely different. I really love a weekend on the Lowdown. I love watching loads of football and commentating on it and kind of being able to step back from the game a little bit and look at it more with a bit more of an analytical eye. But I think you'll agree, and I'm sure Curtie will as well, like there's nothing like competitive gaming, but head-to-head FM's a different beast. I loved it. Hopefully I'll get another shot at it. I know Curtie's not the biggest fan of it. I think he's officially retired from it now, but yeah, it's a completely different weekend. I'm always shattered after a Lowdown weekend just because of the amount of work that we all put in, and obviously it's really long streams and big hours, but that's more like physical exhaustion. Like I'm emotionally at the minute, I'm just drained. Like I've been wrung out like a wet towel.
No, I can kind of, yeah, I felt similar as well with the emotions that go through it. And yet maybe, maybe you've, I think you've done no harm in getting another call up. Obviously, the boss will make that decision, but it was great to watch it, to be fair. Even though I wanted you to not do as well as I did, eventually I had to just call it for what it was, which is actually, you know what, he's pretty good at it. So so well done, and I look forward to seeing what you bring to the table next time.
Yeah, I think that the main thing for me is that I at least backed up my smack talk, right?
Hey, I had 3 minutes notice. I ran in and I picked Harry Kane. All right, I wouldn't do that again.
Yeah, it went downhill from there, really, didn't it?
No, brilliant. Well, Dan, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on. Well done for a great weekend. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Thanks for having me, Diz.
All right. Viewers, I hope you like it. Please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave comments below. Let me know who you want to hear from for season 4. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.